So I'm going to start this makeup look off by doing my eyeshadow first. Normally I actually prefer to do foundation first, but since I'm going to be using loose pigments with this look, I figured I would go ahead and do the eyes first. That way I could avoid any major fallout on my foundation. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes with this Hard Candy eyeshadow primer. And I just started using this, but so far I am a fan. I'm going to be using two different eyeshadow palettes today. The first one is this NYX Love in Paris Merci Beaucoup eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to start by taking this cream shade, it's just a matte cream shade, and I'm going to put it all over my lid just to kind of set the eyeshadow primer. Then I'm going to be taking this kind of like a corally peachy color, and this is going to go basically just in the crease and just above the crease. And this is just a super pretty warm color for fall. It's kind of got an orangish tint to it, and we don't have to be super precise with this because I will be blending it all out and using a makeup wipe later to clean up the edges. Next up, I'm going to be taking my handy dandy BH Cosmetics 120 color eyeshadow palette, and this is the first edition. It's got so many pretty bright colors in it. I just love this palette. And I'm going to take a really nice bright orange here. It's like the perfect orange shade for fall. And I'm going to use a slightly more precise brush than I was before and put it on the inner half of my eyelid. Then I'm going to be taking this beautiful bright red color from the same palette, and I'm going to be putting this on the outer half of my lid. And like I said before, don't worry if it's not super precise because we'll be cleaning it up with a makeup wipe later. I'm going to go back to that kind of light corally orange shade from the NYX palette earlier on a big old fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend it up toward my brow bone. I'm also going to add in a little bit more of the red and orange shades just to kind of build it up to the intensity I want. And I'm going a little bit higher into the crease with this red shade. I'll blend it out some again, but I want this to go a little higher than I had it before. You just want to make sure everything's really transitioned really seamlessly so that it looks just really nice and smooth. So once the eyeshadow's all blended, this is going to be my favorite part of the look, which I've actually already done it on one eye part way, but we're going to be adding some sparkle and shine with some golds and bronzes just to tone down the orange and red a little bit and make it a little bit more wearable for fall. I'm going to start with this NYX Ultra Pearl Mania in gold, which is just like a really pretty loose pigment, and I'm going to take a flat shader brush and just get some of the gold on it. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and I'm just going to spritz the brush now that the pigment is on it. And then you're just going to put it on the inner half of your eyelid, right over where you put the gold. And this is so pretty. I love the effect this creates. Then I'm going to take the bronze NYX Ultra Pearl Mania, and I'm going to basically do the same thing. I've got another kind of flat brush, and I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to pack it on the outer half of the lid. Now I'm going to go in with the blending brush I was using before. I'm not going to put any more eyeshadow on it right now. I'm just going to use it with whatever was left over. I'm just going to kind of blend the edges out again. And just a tip here, you know how I blended it all out with the light orange shade from the NYX palette? Well, you could definitely choose a kind of a lighter tan color or just a more neutral color if you don't want that color going so high up. I personally love it just because I love colors, but you could choose a more neutral shade if you want to. Now I'm going to take the cream shade right here that I used in the very beginning on just kind of another fluffy brush. And I'm just going to go right over the edges here. Now I'm going to take the edge of a makeup wipe and I'm just going to wipe away the corners just to kind of give it an angle, clean it up a bit. Alright, so now that we've got the eyeshadow done, I'm going to switch gears and go to the face products, and I'll come back to the eyes later for the eyeliner, mascara, and lower lash line and all that. But I'm going to go ahead and start the face with this Wet n Wild Coverall primer. Now before I even do my foundation, I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Stick Concealer, and I'm just going to try and conceal a couple of places where I broke out a few weeks ago and I've just got the spots remaining. Now for foundation, I'm using the Wet n Wild Coverall Cream Foundation, and I'm in the shade 815 Fair. And I'm going to put this all over my face. And then I always like to blend my foundation out with a damp makeup wedge. I have never actually used a beauty blender before just because they're really expensive, and I'm a big germaphobe, so I like to be able to get the big packs of the makeup wedges from the Dollar Tree. Now, I'm not even into super high coverage foundations. You know, I have freckles, I have stuff that's going to show through, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I love the way high coverage foundations look on people, Just personally, I like a little bit more of a natural look on my own skin, so that's what I'm going with. For under eye concealer, I'm going to take some of this LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm in the shade Porcelain in this, and I'm going to mix it with some of the e.l.f. under eye conceal and highlighter. I'm going to just mix it with a little of the conceal side, which is in the shade Fair. I'm going to put this in my under eyes, or on my under eyes, not in my under eyes. To set the concealer, I'm going to use this Milani Prep Set and Go Transparent Pressed Powder and just dab it underneath my eyes. I love the faces we all make when we put on makeup. And before I set the rest of my face, I'm going to take this Benefit Watts Up. This is a little sample I got a long time ago. I'm going to add it to my cheekbones just for a little bit of glow. Now to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use this Honeybee Gardens Pressed Mineral Powder in the color Geisha. And I recently got this. I like it. It adds a little bit of coverage and seems to set the face nicely. It can be a little powdery if you put too much on, but like I said, so far I'm a fan of it. Now I'm also going to actually add a little bit of this e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder on my nose. That's where I get the most oils, so this really seems to help mattify everything and keep the oils away. And it's still quite warm in North Carolina, so kind of need this right now. So now that the foundation is done, I'm actually going to switch gears and go back to the eyes. So with this NYX palette, I'm going to take this kind of deep reddish brown shade, and I'm going to use a pencil brush and just smudge this on my lower lash line. And then I'm also going to take this deep brown shade on the same pencil brush and just kind of smoke it in the outer half of the lower lash line. I'm going to do a cat eye with this Wet n Wild Felt Tip eyeliner. This is not how I wanted this to go. Definitely not my best liner, but you know, it was one of those days. We've all had those before. Now for my lower lash line, I'm going to use this Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This came in the Sephora birthday gift. For my mascara, I'm going to try out this Benefit They're Real, and I'm hoping this works because honestly this is getting a little bit dry, but we're going to go for it. Not bad, not bad. Now for bronzer, I'm going to be using the bronzer from this e.l.f. duo. I think it's like the e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzer palette, and this one's in the shade Fiji, which is matte. And I'm just going to take a big old fluffy brush and bronze up my face. Now for blush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blush palette in light, and I'm going to be taking this shade here, which to me looks kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's more on the cool tone instead of like a warm tone blush, and I think that'll go nice since my eyes are so warm. I just kind of want to use something to offset the eyes a little bit. Now for my brows, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. product. It doesn't have the full name on it, but I think it's called like a Lock-On Liner and Brow Gel or Cream or something, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. Now to set my brows, I'm going to use this Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Brownie Brows. To top off my highlight, I'm going to use this tapered brush and just spray it with some of my makeup setting spray. And then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Blush Gems. And finally for the lips, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Metallic Liquid Lipstick in the shade Peony Express. I didn't want to do anything like super intense just because the eyes are so intense. I wanted them to be like the standout part of the makeup look. So that'll do it for this fall makeup look. I really hope y'all like it. I love the way that the bronzes and golds just really work perfectly for fall, and plus when you put the red and orange eyeshadow underneath, it really makes your eyes pop. So I hope y'all like this tutorial, and don't forget to check out my 1,000 subscribers giveaway if you haven't already, because I'm giving away a lot of makeup in that as well as sewing supplies, and actually that's where I came up with this look because I did the same makeup look in that video and decided to recreate it for this one. So yeah, go check that out, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I'll see y'all in a video soon. Bye guys. And that'll do it for this mall makeup look. Hope I didn't just spray the camera. Up and sewing, but blah.